Alrighty then, we are back with my Shiroi on the bench, the Team Corally Shiroi. This truck is good. I do like it. It is awesome. I've had some issues with the electrics. I've already had to, under warranty, have the servo replaced. And now this week, the ESC went bad. Now, in Corally's defence and Wheelspin Models, who I bought the car off, they've been very good with the warranty claims. They sent me out a new servo, and the ESC came straight from the distributor themselves. So I can't complain. The service I have received has been very good, but it is worth mentioning that now both the stock ESC and the servo went bad in my Shiroi. But here is the replacement one they've sent out. Now this is brand spanking new, never been installed in anything as of yet. And even actually, it's not going to get installed in anything today, because what I'm going to put in it is one of these 8bL150s. So we'll do a little very fast unboxing and then a little comparison of visual differences maybe between these two. And then we're going to get this into my Shiroi and we're going to take it out for a bash. Right, so looking at what comes in the box with your 8bL150 is a program sticker that you can use with the actual Hobbywing programming card. So I'm guessing that will go onto there or onto the back. I'll probably just stick it to the box or something. But there's all your settings that you can change. You get the user manual, a couple of zip ties, a couple of double-sided sticky pads, and a mounting plate, and most importantly, stickers. Well, no, I suppose most importantly, the ESC, which will now get the Corally one up here, and we'll just do a quick visual compare between the two. The first major obvious point between the two is this one comes with no plugs on, so you're going to need to get your soldering iron out. And this one comes already with dual XT90s on it. Of course, this is the torox 185. Yeah, torox 185 ESC, which people do say is just a rebranded Hobbywing, which, looking at these, you'd half believe them, because they do look very similar. The one thing that's going to make me install this one into my Shiroi over this one is these capacitors. So on the Corally ESC, those capacitors there are quite small. And on this Hobbywing one, they're a little bit bigger. I am also aware, though, that the torox one does have this cat pack soldered into the power cables. But the fact I've already had one of these go bad in my Shiroi sort of makes me think I'm not going to put it back in there. I'm going to go with this one and see if it's any better. Another quick thing I'll mention is what went wrong. Why won't it focus? What went wrong with this ESC was it would run and then it would cut out. I would still have steering, but I'd lose power. And on the ESC, I would end up just getting here 4 little green flashing lights. And then if I waited a while, they would stop. I would get power back. It would run again for another few seconds and then cut out again. So I suspect that maybe one of these capacitors had gone on the original one and it just kept cutting my power. But again, fair play to Corally. They have replaced that under warranty. But I'm going to go ahead and install the QuicRun WP 8bL150 G2 into it. Doesn't quite have the same ring as a torox 185, does it? But let's hope it performs better. Alright then, here we go. The 8bL150 is installed in my Team Corally Shiroi. Oh, it's a good truck, this. Yeah. Another thing to maybe mention is Well, of course, I have brought a ramp with me. There is a ramp over there in the distance, which we will get closer to. And we will get some footage of that. But also, I have installed these Dumbo X6 controller and receiver. So now it's running with the gyro. At the moment, my gyro is all the way down. This is my gyro dial. And it is down. So no gyro at the moment. But I'm definitely going to dial it up a little bit. And see if it just makes it a bit nicer at higher speeds. Because it does get quite twitchy. Yeah, I wasn't quite flat out there. That was nice. Oh, this is going to get filthy here today. Oh. Okay, well, initial thoughts of the 8bL150 is it's quite good. It's got good enough punch. The speed seems good. I've still not managed to get flat out with it. In fact, let's dial just a tiny bit of gyro there. And we'll see if that makes a difference. That was a fighter jet, sorry about that. Yeah, let's try and come past. There's another one. Okay, that was flat out. Nice. You can just hold these things sideways as long as you like. Right, let's do an experiment and we'll turn this gyro not all the way up but quite high. You can still slide it, but it definitely wants to straighten out a lot more with the gyro compared to if we turn it off. Right, very good. Well, let's quickly do a little temperature feel of it and then we'll get you closer to it, get you some cooler shots. Let's have a feel. I mean, expectedly, yeah, it's cold. The ESC is freezing and the motor's okay as well. Right then, let's get you closer to it. Let's show you some more of the action and let's cue the montage. And that is low voltage. Oh, there we go. That's the whole pack ran through. Right, that's back to the garage. And we are back in the garage with the Shiroi. Let's put you on wide. Really happy with this, actually. I mean, you can see my dodgy repair on this body where I zip tied it all back together. The Shiroi is amazing, and this new ESC is very good that's in it. No real questions with that. My couple of gripes that I have with the Shiroi. First one is the body. I do think it being this thicker Lexan, it doesn't allow it to flex. And the caged drivers inside, yeah, super scale, super detailed, it looks amazing. But for bashing it, it takes away a lot of the strength that you'd normally have in just a standard Lexan body. So I'm going to be looking for a thinner, lighter Lexan body to put on this. I can't find one anywhere. If you know anywhere where I can get a 1/8 scale short course truck or any truck body that's going to fit this nicely, just a plain Lexan that I can spray up or buy pre-painted, let me know in the comments below. Looking inside the truck, there are a couple of downsides I'm finding with it. First of all, though, let's have a little chat about the ESC that we put in. So the QuicRun 8bL150 thing, I forget that it's named, but this that we put in, it's worked really well. It has got blocked up in there with some stones, and I did have to keep tapping it to get the fan to work again. It does work, no issues with it. It ran brilliantly. I had some good run time out of it. No real problems with this. In fact, I'd recommend it. It seems very good. The truck, although I still very much like the truck, there's a couple of things that let it down. The shock towers were one. Of course, I've replaced mine with these awesome Eric Van Rivenstein personalised Crash and Bash edition 7075 6mm thick towers on this. Yeah, lovely. The shock towers aren't fantastic from stock, and it collects dirt like nothing else I've got. I mean, look how dirty it is. It does fill up with dirt really easily. And, as you may see here, I've opened up the receiver box because it's just not waterproof. So when you run it, even in puddles and wet stuff, it fills up the receiver box. So you can see in there it's wet. And I just think in today's modern era of these RC cars, a waterproof receiver box is kind of the way to go. I'm going to hopefully solve my receiver box issue in a very old school manner. I'm going to put a balloon around my receiver. Literally going to stretch this, put the receiver in this balloon and zip tie it closed. And I'm going to hope that stops my receiver getting wet. Otherwise, you do run risk of blowing up your receivers. Apart from those very minor things that we've just pointed out, though, this is awesome. And I suppose I'm nitpicking with it. I'm trying to find fault and tell you the bad points about this. But really, this is a very, very good truck. And if you haven't got one and you are thinking about getting one, definitely go and pick one up. But I would probably go for the roller. Only because I've had a couple of issues with the stock electronics in this. They are very good, and I've still put the stock servo back into this because I think it's very good. And even with the ESC going bad, Corally did replace it free of charge, of course, on the warranty. I just think they shouldn't go wrong in the first place. So if you do want one, go and pick up the roller of these. Put your own electrics in it. This ESC is great. Put in just a cheap servo or an expensive servo, entirely up to you. The gyro has made this really way more drivable at speed. It holds a straight line much easier now. Without the gyro, this thing's a bit wild. With the gyro, at those high speeds on a grippy surface, it does make a difference. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I've had an awesome time with this truck. I hope you've had an awesome time watching it. If you have, make sure you are subscribed. Do bash the bell, and I hope to see you in another video. Goodbye!